Union News Saturday, the 26th of April, 2024. Welcome to Union News, your guide to what's happening in the UK labour and trade union movement. Reporting is by Pat Harrington and music is by Tim Bragg. In this week's edition, Labour's bold move, extending public ownership of UK railways faces scrutiny, cleaners threaten industrial action over real living wage at Royal Mail, International Workers' Memorial Day 2024, honouring lives lost and advocating for safety, nurses in England face intense stress, a disturbing trend, and finally, £116 sick pay, failing those with cancer.
Labour's bold move, extending public ownership of UK railways faces scrutiny. In a significant development, the Labour Party has reaffirmed its commitment to expanding public ownership of Britain's railway network. The proposal, led by Shadow Transport Secretary Louise Haigh, aims to bring train operating franchises back under public control as their current contracts expire. Here are the key points. Despite pressure from Labour's pro-business faction, Haigh has stood firm, resisting any dilution or abandonment of the plan. This move represents a rare instance where Labour leader Keir Starmer has not cynically abandoned election promises made in 2020. Taking franchises back into public hands is expected to benefit passengers significantly. Integration of services and simplified ticketing are long-standing issues that the privatised industry has repeatedly promised to address but failed to deliver. Ending payments to private shareholders will allow better investment in the rail network. This move is a departure from the system introduced by former Prime Minister John Major, which allowed private companies to profit from rail operations. While this step is considered radical by some, it is essential. Even under Conservative governments, 4 train operating franchises are currently state-run due to private operators' failures. Network Rail, responsible for infrastructure, is already publicly owned. The government's proposal to establish Great British Railways aims to direct the entire industry, albeit with a continued role for private capital. Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves would not allow rail privatisation to cost the Exchequer a penny. Her stance underscores the financial considerations behind Labour's plans. And there are gaps in Labour's strategy. The rolling stock companies, Roscoes, which own the trains themselves, will remain in private hands. As the debate unfolds, the nation watches closely. Will the vision for a publicly owned railway system become a reality? Only time will tell.
Cleaners threaten industrial action over real living wage at Royal Mail. In a tense standoff, cleaners employed by Royal Mail's facilities management arm are threatening industrial action if the company abandons the real living wage commitment. Here are the key details. Members of the Communication Workers Union, CWU, have vowed to resist any attempt by Royal Mail Property and Facility Solutions, RMPFS, to backtrack on the voluntary agreement. This move comes after a number of employers, including Capita, have already shifted away from paying the real living wage. Delegates at the CWU's annual conference in Bournemouth approved this approach. The motion, discussed in private, expresses concern about the trend away from fair wages. The CWU has made strides by using the voluntary agreement to ensure that its lowest paid members receive at least £12 per hour. This includes cleaners working across RMPFS's extensive network of over 2,600 sites, making it one of Europe's largest corporate real estates. Ongoing talks. While pay negotiations with RMPFS continue, the CWU remains steadfast. If RMPFS signals an intention to withdraw from paying the real living wage to cleaning staff, the union will resist vigorously. Royal Mail's owner, International Distribution Services, IDs, which owns Royal Mail, has yet to comment on the situation. This is part of a wider trend. Capita, a major outsourcing company, recently joined Brewdog in abandoning the commitment to the real living wage. Their rationale cites affordability concerns. Fearing a domino effect, unions suspect that more companies may follow suit. In January, the CWU expressed strong disapproval of this disgraceful decision that could significantly impact workers' livelihoods. As the battle over fair wages unfolds, the eyes of workers and employers alike remain fixed on the outcome. International Workers' Memorial Day 2024, honoring lives lost and advocating for safety. On April 28, 2024, the world observes International Workers' Memorial Day, IWMD, a solemn occasion to remember workers who paid the ultimate price while striving to earn a living. These are the individuals who left for work one day and never returned, leaving behind grieving families and communities. IWMD unites the global trade union movement in a collective act of remembrance. It serves as a stark reminder that more people lose their lives at work than in wars. These aren't mere statistics, they represent real individuals, mothers, fathers, siblings, and friends who faced preventable tragedies due to workplace hazards. Beyond remembrance, IWMD is a call to action. It demands that we fight for the living, to ensure that every worker returns home safely at the end of their shift. As we honor those we've lost, we also advocate for robust safety measures, fair wages, and dignified working conditions. This year's theme underscores the intersection of environmental challenges and workers' well-being. As the climate crisis intensifies, workers face increased risks, from extreme weather events to exposure to hazardous substances. IWMD prompts us to address these issues collectively, recognizing that a healthy planet is inseparable from healthy workers. Throughout history, employer and government failures have led to preventable worker deaths. Trade unions have fought tirelessly for legislative changes to protect safety rights. On this IWMD, we reflect on these pivotal moments and recommit ourselves to safeguarding workers' lives. As the sun rises on April 28, 2024, let us remember the fallen, honor their memory, and stand up for the living. Whether you're a union member, an advocate, or an ordinary citizen, your voice matters. Together, we can create workplaces where safety is paramount and lives are valued.
Nurses in England face intense stress, a disturbing trend. In a concerning revelation, nurses in England have been grappling with unbearable stress, leading to significant time off work. Here are the key findings. During 2023, nurses and health visitors took a staggering 1,675,275 days off sick due to stress, anxiety, or depression. This alarming figure highlights the immense strain faced by nursing staff. On average, each of England's 352,125 nurses and health visitors missed approximately 4.95 days of work due to stress-related conditions. These intense pressures are taking a toll on their mental health. The Royal College of Nursing, RCN, warns that dangerous stress levels have become normalised within an NHS struggling to cope with demand. Chronic workforce shortages exacerbate the situation, leaving nursing staff running on empty. Many nurses experience what's known as moral distress, a situation where they recognise the care a patient needs but lack the resources to provide it. Extreme workloads contribute to this distress. In 2023, for the first time, nurses leaving the NHS cited work-life balance as the primary reason, surpassing retirement. This shift underscores the urgent need for better support and improved working conditions. With 34,709 vacancies in England, hospitals struggle to maintain adequate staffing levels. Nurses report feeling overwhelmed by the combination of staff shortages and high service demand. One nurse expressed feeling stressed and anxious due to financial pressures, leading to serious mental health deterioration. The system's shortcomings are taking a toll on dedicated healthcare professionals. As we commemorate International Workers' Memorial Day, let us remember the sacrifices made by nurses and advocate for their well-being. Their tireless efforts deserve recognition and support.
And finally, £116 sick pay failing those with cancer. Around 250,000 UK workers living with cancer are estimated to be struggling with covering essential costs due to inadequate statutory sick pay, SSP. This issue has prompted the Safe Sick Pay campaign, backed by cancer and health charities, to advocate for change. The campaign emphasizes that SSP should rise to be in line with a worker's wages up to the living wage in order to properly support cancer patients in their recovery and safe return to work. The group has written to both Rishi Sunak and Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer, urging them to address this critical issue. Currently, SSP is set at £116.75 per week for up to 28 weeks, covering the days when someone is off work due to illness, except for the first 3 days. However, this amount does not offer adequate financial support for workers most in need. The campaigners propose several key changes. Increase SSP, the payment should be raised to match a worker's wages up to the living wage. First day coverage, SSP should be payable from the first day of sickness. Earnings threshold, abolish the earnings threshold so that part-time workers currently ineligible can receive some sick pay entitlement. Timely benefits, ensure that benefits such as personal independence payment, PIP, and universal credit, UC, are made available promptly when needed. By reforming sick pay and providing faster support through the benefits system, we can reduce financial hardship for people during their treatment and aftercare, including those living with cancer. Moreover, these changes would benefit not only cancer patients but also individuals with other long-term conditions, enabling them to safely and securely return to work. 12. It's crucial that policymakers address this issue promptly to alleviate the financial burden faced by cancer patients and ensure their well-being during recovery and beyond.